So we're back here with Tom again with his left shoulder. Now you might remember him. He's had a left shoulder reconstruction, supraspinatus, bicep tenodesis, normal reconstruction. He is now 9.5 months, so time flies. What we're showing you today is what's happening in his shoulder when he's doing his weights. He's getting a little bit of discomfort at the back, which is normal for him, but I'm showing you why he's getting it. Now he's doing normal weights. He's doing chest flies, chest press, shoulder press, lateral raises, all those things for shoulders. What he's getting when he does a lateral raise, so this way, he's getting pain in the back, okay? Not on the front, not on the top, in the back, around beneath the acromion. Now he's getting it because he's got a little bit of stiffness through the tendons in here. He's got a bit of capsule stiffness, which is all post-surgical stuff. What that does, it gets him a bit of jamming in the back. So because he's only 9.5 months, we don't want to push that too hard. We want to increase his strength, but we don't want to keep jamming that pain. One of the reasons he's getting it though is because he was doing lateral raises to above 90 degrees. Now for him down the track, he might be able to do that, but what we need to do is get him below 90 degrees when he's doing load. Okay, so not above, because that's when he's getting pain. If he does load here, he doesn't get it. It's only when he goes above the 80 degree mark, into 90 and up into 100, that's when he's getting it in through the back there. So what we've got to try and do is just keep that from here down. So he just knows that when he's doing a lateral raise, he's got to keep it below 90. We'll keep this hand below shoulder height. All right. Now, what that'll do is allow him to keep increasing the weights because he's been a bit stalled on his load here for the last 6 weeks. He hasn't been able to increase it because he's been worried about the pain here, well, the discomfort here. So we're sitting him below shoulder height, and then he can start increasing that weight. What we're also doing is loosening that up. I'll show you in a minute. So that's his lateral raise. He's also getting it with a fly. If you go onto your back for me, Tom. Same drill. He's getting it when he does chest flies. And I say, oh, show me how you do chest flies. So when he does it, what he was doing is coming out, but he ended up, he said, that's my chest fly. If you look at that though, see where his hand is compared to his shoulder, okay? So he's actually up above the 90 degree mark again. So he's getting the same thing. In the back, he was getting problems through there. So if he comes here and goes below 90 degrees. So we're not even worrying about, oh, can you go to 90? Just let's sit at 80 degrees. So if you look at the line here from his shoulder out, he's sitting about 10 degrees lower. So when he does his chest fly that way, okay, of course he's got weight, right? But when he does that way, he doesn't feel it. Even with no weight, he doesn't feel it there. Okay, so it's a lot less. And so that will allow him to increase the chest fly as well because he's been struggling with that. So his chest press and his shoulder press, the compound movements are totally fine, all right? What he's been limited on is the long lever load, especially the rear. So machine flies, he's getting it. Lateral raise, he's getting it. Chest flies, he's getting it. So they're all that sort of long lever where it's just one joint moving. When it's compound, it's totally different for him. So the reason for that is because he's doing a long lever at above 90 degrees. So what we're going to do, like I said, set him down at 80 degrees, okay, for now, for the next 4 to 8 weeks, is make sure he doesn't go up into above 90 degree range. Then see if he can start increasing the load, getting back to where he wants to be over time. Remember, he's still got about another 9 months to get through to 18 months to be at full capacity. So there's a long way to go still. So I'll show you what we've been doing for the back part of that joint. I've been getting in here, and this is just a lot of soft tissue release, but we're going for right below the acromion. So there's the acromion there, the edge, right on the edge there. We're sitting right beneath that. So when I come around into here, the back part of the joint, he's feeling it when we get through his posterior deltoid and in his infraspinatus there. That's where he's feeling a lot of that stiffness, which is holding him back and giving him part of that, not impingement, but a type of discomfort jamming issue just from too much stiffness through there. And it's pretty common to get this sort of stiffness post-surgical when you have tendinopathies and tendons and the whole joint capsule tissue stiffens up in response to the surgery. It's hard for him to do that himself. So he is using a trigger point ball at the back, but this work really helps release all the muscular tissue guarding in there, some of that tendon stiffness through there, to try and give him more range. So when he does do his flies, he's got a little bit more scope of not making it sore, because that pain or discomfort is not going to make it worse. It's just limiting him up here to try and keep increasing the weight because he's worried about what is that in the back there. So it's important that we get that pain free so he can keep progressing. And then once we've loosened all that off, he will hopefully feel a lot better through that long lever range. I'm also stretching out the joint here. So when I've got him up into that above 90-degree position, he can, if we get him up into about 135 degrees there, he can sort of feel it a bit. Now, what I'm going to do, usually I do an AP, but the PA here just stretches out his capsule a bit more. You feel that? Yeah. And this just helps loosen up him a bit more. He's very strong through there. This is nice and safe for him, but this just gets him a bit more stretch through the joint. So we're going to do a PA that way, and we get the other part of the capsule by going and doing an AP this way and really loading him down, just stretching out the back there. Okay, so it's a very nice way of getting the soft tissue release work that he can't really do himself done, so he's got less stiffness through the joint, less likely to get that discomfort when he goes above head. And this is going to be especially important for his shoulder press and his chest press, because even though he is, well, most of the problem is happening on a fly or a lateral raise or a long lever load for the shoulder, he still gets a tiny little bit on the shoulder press right at the end range. So we're making sure that can we get rid of the problem as far as capsular stiffness in the joint, so he can do a shoulder press and pain-free and continue progressing the load over the next 6 to 9 months. See you next time.